Have you ever felt like your 9 to 5 job just isn't cutting it? If you're anything like most people, you wake up every morning dreading the workday ahead, counting down the days until the weekend and feeling that familiar Sunday evening dread because the whole cycle starts again on Monday. This feeling is incredibly common. Extreme dislike for something that takes up a third or more of your life. Many people go through this and it leads to dissatisfaction and ultimately frustration. You spend a huge portion of your life at work, and if you're not enjoying it, you're essentially missing out on a big chunk of your life. But the truth is, you're watching this video for a reason, because ultimately you're probably looking to design a better life for yourself, your friends, and even your family. Working a job you hate doesn't fit into that equation. You're likely craving freedom, whether that's time freedom, financial freedom, or just the ability to wake up every day and work on something you're actually passionate about. But it's extremely hard to take that first step without a clear plan. Now, if you love your job or have never felt the itch to start your own business, this video might not be for you. If you wake up excited to go to work and feel deeply fulfilled by what you do, that's amazing. But for those who feel stuck or unmotivated, or if you always had that entrepreneurial itch to build something of your own, stick around, because in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can escape the rat race and start doing something you actually enjoy. This will allow you to gain things like time freedom, make more money, and create a life that actually feels like it's worth living. I'll be showing you some of the easiest ways to get started with this, plus giving you a step-by-step guide on how to start your very first online business. It's pretty much all. I'm going to walk you through the entire steps inside of this video, so make sure you watch to the very end. First things first, let's talk about one big myth that stops so many people from even starting something in the first place. More specifically, what stops people from starting a business? There's this idea that starting a business requires a lot of upfront capital. We've all heard the stories about businesses needing huge investments, office spaces, inventory, or even expensive equipment just to get started. This scares a lot of people away from even trying in the first place. But here's the truth. That myth couldn't be further from reality. In fact, in this video, I'll be showing you how to start your first business on the internet without having to have a single employee, have no upfront capital, and requiring pretty much $0 in initial investment. The truth is, the barrier to entry to this marketplace has never been lower. So first things first, let's break this down step by step. One of the first things you need to do is figure out how much money you actually need to survive without a job. A lot of people tend to think that their full salary is what they need to replace immediately, but that's not necessarily true. The first thing you'll do is start by writing down how much you currently make, and then the next step is to calculate how much you need weekly or monthly to cover your living expenses. This can include important expenses like your rent, mortgage, utilities, food, or transportation. Also, be sure to factor in any other recurring costs that you might have. Make sure to be honest and thorough here. Don't forget to factor in things like entertainment or savings that you want to also be able to spend. Once you've figured that out, this will be your survival number. The next thing you want to do is add a buffer about 15% to this just to be safe. This will give you a clear goal of how much income you need to replace before you can comfortably leave your job. A great way to transition out of your current job is to start building a business while you're still working. This is key because there's often a huge delay between starting a business and seeing real results. Quitting your job too early can create unnecessary stress. So the goal here is to build up your business to the point where it can replace your current income. That way you'll have peace of mind knowing that you have a steady stream of income even while you're working on growing your actual business. Now that you have your survival number figured out, we can then move on to the next step, which is picking your business model. One business model that is particularly appealing for transitioning into is dropshipping with Shopify. Why is that the case? Because it allows you to start a business with minimal upfront capital and you don't even have to hold any inventory. Dropshipping is a little bit difficult at first, but as long as you follow the steps in this video and go through the guide that I'm about to show you, everything will make sense. With Shopify's platform, you can easily set up a dropshipping store, automate your orders, and start generating income while still working your full-time job. This is crucial because it means you won't get bogged down with everyday business tasks that you would otherwise not have time for outside of your regular 9 to 5. When it comes to dropshipping, the business model is super simple. You find products to sell on a supplier's website, list them on your store, and then find ways to run traffic to that store and ultimately start making sales. Shopify offers a range of tools to get you started, including integrations with dropshipping platforms like Oberlo, AliExpress, and even Zendrop, which pretty much allows you to automate your entire product sourcing operation. One of the nice parts about this too is that you don't have to invest in inventory up front, meaning that there isn't any huge costs associated with having to figure out exactly how much inventory you need to order and then ultimately pushing that inventory out as fast fast as you can. Dropshipping allows you to sell things on a need by need basis, meaning that the second that somebody hits the buy button, that's when the inventory is purchased and then subsequently shipped to them. Now that we've talked a little bit about dropshipping, I'm going to walk you guys through a step-by-step guide that you can use with a link down in the description below. This link will give you everything you need to start your very first Shopify dropshipping store and get you started into this whole process. So let's dive into it. The first thing you guys are want to do is hit that link, which will take you to this page here. As you can see, this is how you're going to be able to create a professional online Shopify store in less than 12 minutes. The first thing we're going to do is create our free account with Shopify and build our store right now. All we have to do is enter in our email address and hit the access button. Once we do that, we'll then enter in our name, our phone number, and then our password. We'll click the I have read and agree to terms of use and then hit the access button. This will then bring us to our next step. On our next step here, we're going to get started with creating our Shopify store. All we have to do is follow the steps outlined in step 1, which are super easy to follow. The first thing is setting our store color, choosing our banners for our homepage, opening a store on Shopify, connecting our Shopify store, getting our Shopify discount, configuring the app in Shopify, and authorizing Shopify integration, activating our free trial on Shopify, and then the rest of these are basically customizing our store and setting it up in the first place. Now, following this guide will give you the best way to do that, but let's show you how to actually get products onto your store. The first thing you want to do is hit on this add 20 winning products option. This will get you started with Zendrop, which is the best way to get started with adding products to your Shopify store. Once we finish setting up our Shopify store, the next thing we can do is go to step 2, which is all about suppliers. Your supplier is super important. Having the right place to source dropshipping products from is pretty much a no-brainer. And when it comes to options, utilizing the step-by-step guide will show you how to set up that supplier properly. Once we have our supplier set up, we'll then go to step 3, which is basically how we're going to make our first sale. This can come from a few different ways. We can either talk to our friends or family and tell them about this new venture that we're starting on, or we can start either doing organic content on TikTok or Instagram, or even start running Facebook or Instagram ads. There's a bunch of different ways you can drive traffic, and this step-by-step guide will show you how. Once we have all that done, they'll even show you how to run TikTok ads to actually start getting super profitable very quickly. And once you have all this complete, you'll be ready to go with your very first online business. So the real question here at the end of the day is that, is this sustainable long-term, and is this something that you can potentially quit your 9-to-5 for? I have personal experience with this exact program. I used to work a 9-to-5 job, and I used to have to get paid on a salary basis. That was until I would spend every night that I wasn't working on my passion business. As I continued to work on it more and more, I saw more results, and I was able to start managing it more efficiently. Because I started with this specific business model, it was so incredibly easy to run this store while working full time, meaning that I didn't have to worry about managing employees, buying inventory, and monitoring my store on a daily basis. Most of this stuff just kind of ran itself. So if you're somebody who feels like you're stuck in the rat race, not able to escape your 9-to-5, I really encourage you to check out the link down in the description below for a full step-by-step guide on how to get started with your first Shopify dropshipping store. It's one of the easiest ways to get started with making money online, and it's one of the best ways to do it if you're still working a 9-to-5 job. If you guys have any questions about this, make sure to comment them down below. Also, if you're thinking about starting a different business, also comment that down below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss any of our future videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you guys in a future one.